Everyone. We are recording this just to let everybody know. And welcome everyone. I have to say good morning and good evening to those of you who are joining us. And we've got a 10-hour time zone change from us here in Colorado, United States, to Oman, where Zahra is joining us from, as are many of her connections and followers. So welcome Zahra Al-Jahar. She is joining us from Oman today, and she will be sharing her experience with public speaking and how she transformed from being a shy speaker to a confident one. And before I hand it over to Anna, who's going to introduce Zahra and share how this meeting came to be from WOGA to Oman, I was just going to share and give you guys all a little bit of background about WOGA and what we do and kind of how and why. Before I do that, I will also let you know, we encourage you all to turn on your cameras. Just mute your mics, but turn on your camera so that Zahra can see who she's talking to. And I think it's just more fun that way to see faces and see people. So please turn on your cameras if you feel comfortable. If you don't feel comfortable, I encourage you to do it anyways and stretch yourself and do it anyways. So a little bit about WOGA. WOGA stands for the Women in Oil and Gas Association of Colorado, and we are a nonprofit, and our intention is to provide various opportunities to mentor and encourage all women in the oil and gas industry specifically. And our vision, in order to do that, our goal is to enhance the energy community, develop and encourage our next generation of leaders, and support energy sector occupations. And WOGA builds synergies with our colleagues through collaboration, collective intelligence, to develop personal and professional skill sets. So we provide a variety of professional and personal growth opportunities, sports activities to help women engage in a lot of the peripheral activities that often go along with networking in the oil and gas industry, such as clay shooting or golf clinics, or it's mostly been target shooting and golf clinics that we've been focusing on. But those are just some of the activities that we commonly encounter here in the US around the oil and gas industry. And we just want to make women feel more comfortable in doing those activities. And our mission is just to encourage and empower the next generation of women leaders. And this is one way to do that, is bringing in speakers to help people with their personal and professional development skills. So thank you for joining, everyone. I'm going to hand it off to Anna to introduce Zahra, and take it away, Anna. Thank you. Oh, Anna, you're on mute.
There we go. Public speaking 101. There's one tip from me. Unmute yourself, at least. I'm super excited to have you here, Zahra. My name is Anna Thalberger. I'm the Vice President of WOGA. I've been involved with WOGA for about 10 years now. I made my connection with Zahra a few months ago. My company, Caruso, has just started doing some work in Oman, and I was curious to learn more about the country, how to do business in the country, what the culture was like, all those kinds of things. And I came across this wonderful personality online through LinkedIn. It was Zahra. And I watched some of her videos. There was just so much good information, and it was just really cool. I could feel her energy and excitement through the videos, which is really, it's something unique when people can do that, and you feel that authenticity. And I just thought, I've got to get to know this woman, and I need to connect with her and see if I can get her to speak for WOGA. And luckily, I was able to get her to agree to that. And here we have her today. So a little bit about her. She has 14 years of professional experience, 10 years in oil and gas. She has a Master of Information Technology with an honor from Queensland University of Technology in Australia, which is pretty fancy. I also always like to note that, I myself speak a little bit of German, but doing all of these things and speaking and learning and doing it in what is not your very first language is already mind-blowing to me. And so, just kudos to you, Zahra, that you can just do this so well when it's not your very first language. So that's something I noticed too. So she started in business intelligence, and she pivoted her career into a more technical area, with the closer to the engineering discipline, and a knowledge management, senior knowledge management engineer. Outside of her working hours, she is full on into public speaking. She is certified by one of the world public speaking finalists and Toastmasters. And she's been very active there, where she's had a lot of leadership positions, and she actually trains a ton of people as well. So she does public speaking in her community, encouraging people to motivate her fellow citizens to become confident speakers. She delivers speeches about knowledge management for a project controls meet in Middle East, which was the first of its kind. This was a really cool one, I thought. So she's a master's of ceremony for official oil and gas events, where she'd be delivering that the MC, where the Ministry of Energy and Minerals of Oman was there, and a lot of fancy people in the audience.
I love you.
And then she is married. She's got two lovely boys, Omar and Hazma. She is a self-proclaimed introvert, and once upon a time, she was actually a Zumba instructor. So I think that is also really cool. There's that energy and fire to motivate people right there with the Zumba. She likes digital designing. And one day she would like to visit the USA. So we are happy to welcome you here anytime, Zahra. And with that, I'll turn it over to you to get started for us. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna, and thank you, Chris, and everyone who is involved in the preparation for this session. I'm really delighted to be part of this wonderful organization to encourage the ladies and everybody in the oil and gas industry to be a better leader. So I'm going to share my screen. Share sound. What can you see? Can you see the full screen? Or the screen with black?
It's with the black. It's not in like the full presentation yet.
Try to see. It's coming. I'll stop sharing and I will share again.
Okay. Right, with public speaking, you just need to go with the flow and make it work when you're out there.
Yes. Actually, I have two screens. I want to make sure that I can see you as I'm speaking, as I'm presenting.
Gotcha.
So now I'll share my screen again. Can you see the PowerPoint?
See the PowerPoint? Yep, I think just if you hit in like presentation mode. Yeah.
Now it's in presentation.
Yep, I see that.
Okay.
Yep. Good.
Now I can start. So thank you all for being here. And this is my presentation or my speech. It will be about speak up, unleash the confident speaker within. Because I believe every person on this earth, they have a confident speaker within. We just have to unleash that personality that's within. So I am a natural storyteller. My speech will be full of stories, and I'm going to start with one. Let me tell you a story about my best friend. She was a very shy student, and she had difficulties in pronouncing the letters S and Z. So she was saying, instead of saying S, she was saying for very, very, very long time. Maybe she got to know how to pronounce it when she was 15 years old. So you can imagine how was the impact of that on her when she was a student. She was not able to speak. She was not able to participate with people. Also, she was one of the top students at all times. Then when she went to the university, she found that studying her books, studying her lectures was not enough. She has to give more presentations. You have to give more speeches. You have to engage with people. She has to speak. And she used to be one of the top students. So she has to speak and she has to force herself to be out there and speak to people. So she started to speak. It was very difficult for her at the beginning. Bad speech after bad speech after bad speech. And then she became slowly as a confident speaker. And now I will show you the picture of my friend. Actually, this is my best friend. She is just me. I was that student who was not speaking at class. And then eventually in the university, she decided to change because she wants to be at the top at whatever she does. As you can see here, this picture in the left, I was speaking in the event in one of the big inauguration of the strategic project called Rima Water Treatment, which is to treat the produced water from the oil. And it is a friendly for the environment. It's very friendly for the environment, the project, where we treat the water and make it available for the environment and for the habitats to be there. And the second one is the Project Controls Meet. This is the first of its kind event in the Middle East. It happened in Oman, and I was presenting there. How did I transform from being a shy student who cannot pronounce the letter S and Z to what you can see? This is what I'm going to show you in my presentation today. But before we start, I would like to know my audience better. So if you can please answer those some of the questions that I'm going to put here in the chat box, so we get to know each other. What do you do for a living? I know majority of us are in the oil and gas or in the energy sector, but I would like to know more. Okay, let me see if I can see the chat box. Can you still see my screen? Okay. Excellent. Environmental consultant, nice. Petroleum engineer, wow. VP information technology, excellent. Facilities engineer, ONG. Project management, account manager, compliance specialist. Biologist, wow. Crucial energy, supply chain management, CNA commission engineer, logistics, financial. I'm happy to see all of these professions here. And this is really gives me that we can learn from each other's more by having people from different places. So now going back to my presentation, I have another question. Yes. What is your hobby? Quilting. Wow, nice. Cycling. Denver CO. Raising humans. Wow, I like it. Jogging, skiing, mountain biking, do-it-yourself crafts, gardening, yoga, cooking, camping, hiking, paddleboarding, gardening, golf, amazing, hiking. Nice. I'm happy to see all of those hobbies because these can turn into something that you can speak about everywhere. That's why I'm asking you. Where are you from? Presentations. So Sultan likes to give presentations. Nice. So we have people from Denver, Colorado, Oman, Colorado, California, now in Denver, Colorado, Texas, Canada, Denver, Michigan, Louisiana, Minnesota, Rock Island. Wow, amazing. I'm happy to see people from different places from America, Canada to Oman. So now I know you and I know how to speak to you. let's get started. I have another story how I started in as a public speaker. So as I said, I turned into, let me go back to, because I have two screens. I need to go back to my screen here. Okay, so I used to be, when I first joined the oil and gas industry, I joined one of the leading organizations in the oil and gas industry in Oman. So they have a Toastmasters club. And when I was doing my presentations, one of the officers, he saw me and he said, Zahra, you can speak. Why don't you take over whatever I'm doing and give and facilitate the quarterly staff engagement? At that time, I was working for the infrastructure director. Then I said, why not? Let me try. I didn't know, I was new to the company, so I didn't imagine what does it mean to facilitate an engagement for the director. So I said yes. But then as we were getting closer to the event, the night before the meeting, I started to have those evil and negative thoughts coming to my mind. So I was saying, you're just a new graduate. I was a graduate at that time. Your English is not perfect. Are you going to speak in front of VIPs and directors and managers? Are you serious? So I was thinking all of those negative thoughts, but then I said, since I said yes, I'm going to do it. And as you can see here, this is the picture where we had several people, I think around 500 people sitting here, and I was facilitating. And guess how I started? I was holding the mic like this, and I was shaking, and I was barely breathing, and I told them, I am very, very nervous. Please cooperate with me because I am nervous. And the director started to laugh at me, and as you can see him here, he is the director, and now he is the technical director of the one of the leading organizations in oil and gas. At that time, he was director of the infrastructure, and he started to laugh, and everybody started to laugh. Now, I'm not saying that this is the best way to start your presentation, and I don't recommend you to do that, but this is how I started. So, and it went very well. And when I went back to my seat, I got a call. At that time, we were not using Skype and all of those like streaming, video streaming. We were using the normal Avaya phone. And I saw it was written the name of the director. And I checked again. Yes, this is the director himself calling me, the new graduate. And then I picked the phone and I said, hello. And he said, Zahra, this is me, the director. I'm calling you to tell you, thank you very much. You have done a great job. Please come to my office because I want to give you a token of appreciation. By the way, this organization is really big, and to get to speak to the director itself is not easy. A director knowing my name at that stage of my career, this is phenomenal. How I got that opportunity, it's just being out there and facilitating a session, not even touching my technical background. So here I want to tell you the possibilities, the opportunities that will come to you when you put yourself there, when you are vulnerable, telling people, doing something that you are not confident to do. These are the benefits that you are going to get. And as I said, the director now is the technical director. He is the second man to do decisions in that organization. And he saw me like 2 months. So this meeting that you can see here in the picture, that was in 2015. So from 2015 until 2023. He was able to recognize me in one of the malls, and he was shopping, and he told me, Salaam alaikum. This is how we greet ourselves in Oman. So he is still remembering me for me being out there and speaking. So with this, I would like to tell you, when you are out there speaking, People will know you and people will remember you. Opportunities will follow. Now, I have a very nice book that I read long time ago, The Outliers. This is a highly recommended book by myself, and it was written by Malcolm Gladwell. The book talks about many stories about people who have mastered an area in their life. So it will describe how they have done that. It's by the 10,000 hours rule. So what does Malcolm say in the book? 10,000 hours of deliberate practice are needed to become world-class in any field. This includes public speaking. Yes, public speaking is something that you can learn. Some people will have it naturally when they are born, but majority of us can learn it. So for you to be a confident public speaker, you have to make it as a habit. How to make it as a habit? I will show you my personal experience. So at work, as you can see here, the picture at the left, I volunteer to talk at any event, any gathering, any community. Even if they don't ask for speakers, I will be there offering my help. So here, I am part of the community of practice of change management, and I offered them to give them my experience in change management because I'm very passionate about change management. And the second picture here, there was a team in construction area, and I wanted to give them awareness about knowledge management. But then they told me, but Zahra, we don't work during working days as the people in your coastal area. We only gather during the weekend. I told them, okay, I will be there with you during weekend. I don't mind. And they were wondering, Zahra, why are you doing this? You are not getting any incentive. We are not going to give you anything. I told them, I want to speak. Let me speak. So I was speaking during weekend. And in the third one, it is the project control meet, one of the events that I really admire, and I really felt the value of public speaking by speaking in that event. And there is a full story about it that's going to come. This is at work. But outside of work, this is the huge work is happening. The huge work on my capabilities of public speaking is actually happening outside of my working hours. So I am part of Public Speaking Club, Toastmasters, since 2014. So almost 9 years, I am part of this amazing organization. And currently, I am part of the Oman Online Toastmasters Club. So I did a little bit of statistics and mathematics, and I found that on average, I have given 144 plus public speaking opportunities per year. Can you imagine? Per year. And I have done 1,244 speaking opportunities in 9 years. These are the numbers. What you are seeing now is the result of this number that I have worked very hard to achieve them. As you can see here, this is a picture, one of the meeting online for Oman Online Toastmasters, and you can see the people here are all gathering to develop their public speaking skills. And here also I got an invitation to speak in one of the automotive public speaking clubs, and I went there and I gave a keynote speech. As you can see here, we got also invitation from a Canadian club called Royal Lunch and Learn Toastmasters. And immediately myself and all the officers in Oman Online Toastmasters, we told them we are going to be there. And it was one of the most positive clubs that we have seen so far. So this is regarding Toastmasters. And also, this is in Arabic, but I'm going to tell you what's here. So because I'm very passionate about public speaking, and people started to see my passion, and they came to me to ask for guidance. How can I be a good public speaker? And I wanted to be to give them something that is really tested, something systematic. So I flew all the way to Bahrain, which is another country in the Middle East, and I got a proper training to be a certified public speaking coach by one of the finalists of Toastmasters in the Arab world. His name is Mohammed Shukri, Toastmaster Mohammed Shukri, and he gave us a step-by-step how to teach people how to speak. And after that, I came back and I started to give to my community. As you can see here, I have given one course for public speaking tips for my community in the women association in my city, which is called Al Amrat. And I have a school also, they are calling me to teach the students during their summer vacation. And because I'm very busy, I do it outside of working hours. I finish at 4, at 5, I log in via Zoom and I give them the course. Also, as you can see here, this is one of the birthdays in our from our relatives. Also, she, the mother of the kids, she called me and she said, Zahra, I want you to organize some of the games for the kids. And then I told her, okay, I can do it, but you have to bring the gift. I will just prepare the games. So why I'm sharing this? Because even the personal experiences count towards being a confident public speaker or an international speaker. And here I was the master of ceremony for the Women Day in Oman, which is 17th of October. So this is what I'm doing to give back to the community. People might say that I am giving a lot to the community, but I'm not getting back. No, whatever I get more opportunities to me. I get more experience as a speaker. The more you give, the more you get. I'm going to give you one of the stories of one of the public speaker, well-known public speaker who won the Toastmasters contest, International Toastmaster contest. His name is Mohammed Al-Qahtani. He works in Aramco, one of the leading oil and gas companies, organizations in Saudi Arabia. So when he was 8 years old, his teacher said, you are silly and you are not going anywhere. Why? Because he has difficulties in, he was stammering. He has difficulties in speaking. So people were laughing at him. In high school, his colleagues laughed at him when he speaks. They were bullying him. And then he studied in the USA for 4 years, his higher studies, and he performed in stand-up comedy. And he was saying, instead of people laughing at me, let me laugh with them. So he did that for 4 years and he gained a lot of confidence. And when he joined Aramco, he joined the public speaking club, Toastmasters. And he tried to participate in the contest, in the international contest. First time, he failed. Second time, he failed. Third time, failed. But the fourth time, he won the World Championship International Speech Contest, in the 5th try. So you can see a person who was having difficulties in speaking, he won the World Championship in his second language. And now he is well-known public speaking coach and he is teaching people how to speak. So this is another person from the oil and gas industry, and he managed to master public speaking. It's not just Zahra, we have many people in the oil and gas industry, so anyone in this call can do it. So Zahra now is telling us about Mohammed Al-Qahtani and herself. What's in it for me? You might be asking, what's in it for me? Why do I have to learn public speaking? Let me show you another story. I believe being a confident speaker is essential for women everywhere, in all fields, and specifically in the energy sector. Why? Let me show you a picture. This is me in the project controls meet. I want you in the chat box to tell me, what can you recognize in this picture? Is there anything special? Can you see anything special with this picture? Only women. You are the only women. Thank you very much. So thank you for showing me that. Yes, exactly. I was the only woman in that event. And I would like also to ask, how many of you, this question is for the women, sorry guys, but I'm asking now for the women. How many times have you attended a meeting where you were the only woman in the meeting room? Please tell me in the chat box. Daily, many, thank you. Thank you very much. So many, every day, many times, daily, many times over the last 28 years, many times. I'm happy. Afrah, she is also from another sector, but also she is facing the same thing. So let me show you what I was thinking when I was in the event. Having two screens, sorry for that. Okay. Back to my screen. So when I was there and they told me that I am the only woman, I saw that I am surrounded by senior men. They know better than I do. My knowledge is very shallow. Are you serious? But then I said, since my paper was accepted, I will do it anyway. And I performed and I delivered my presentation, and it was well received. The founder of Project Controlled Me, he told me, Zahra, you are not just technically competent, but you are a motivational speaker. So you can see, I was the only woman doubting myself, but I was able to be there and speak confidently where all men are around me. So as you can see, this is something that we face on a daily basis. And here are some statistics. So I can show you that it's not just me who's facing that, but I got this study for diversity among directors and executives in Canada's oil and gas and energy services sector that was from 2022. So you focus here on the red one. It says from every 4 directors, we have only 1.8 ladies. I know there is no 0.8 ladies, but this is just the statistics. And we have 23% directors as women in the oil and gas industry. Can you see the numbers? Directors, women directors in the oil and gas industry, and I'm sure this applies to many other places. And for me, I believe if we want to enable women in this sector or energy sector, we have to have leaders, women among the leaders. Why? Because we understand ladies better and we know how to open potentials for them. So for us, if we want really to develop ladies, we have to enable them in terms of public speaking. Why? Imagine that this is a phone, but imagine that it's a coin. So for coin, we have 2 faces. One face is leadership. If you flip it, you will see public speaking. This is how I believe the importance of public speaking. If you are a leader, you have to speak. You have to persuade people. You have to be out there speaking to men and women as well. So you have to be really very confident if you want to persuade other people, especially if you are the only woman in the room. So now this is what's in me. Now we understand the importance of public speaking. Many people I get through the DMs in LinkedIn and Instagram. How can I start developing my public speaking skills? Here are a few suggestions from my experience. By giving as much presentation as speeches wherever you can, at home, at work, at the church, at the wedding, wherever you can, just go out there and speak for free. Even if it's for free, it doesn't matter. You want to build yourself to be ready for the opportunities, for the paid opportunity that will come to you. Where? So as I said, at work, we have a lot of weekly team meetings and we have quarterly engagements. You can volunteer to facilitate those sessions and speak there to the people. Yes, you will be just a facilitator, but believe me, it will give you a lot of experience and it will build your confidence. Woga, Colorado. It's another place where you can speak, as now I'm speaking in Woga. So I believe they also want other people to share their knowledge in different fields. So this is another opportunity for you to be out there and to share your knowledge and also to build your confidence. Share your knowledge to nonprofit organizations. I'm sure in Canada, in Colorado, we have a lot of them. So select whatever that suits you and suits your hobbies and your values. Volunteer to be the master of ceremonies in weddings. I think that, and in weddings in maybe Canada or in the USA, you have master of ceremonies, so you can volunteer. In our culture, we don't have that, but you have the privilege of being the master of ceremonies, so you can volunteer as well to be the master of ceremony. Now, if you don't have all of that, you think that you don't have time to go and search and find a place and be there and speak, I have another option for you called Toastmasters. What is Toastmasters? What you are going to get in Toastmasters? This is what I'm going to show you. But first, let's see this small video.
What is the story behind Toastmasters? No man knows it better than its founder, Dr. Ralph C. Smedley. Dr. Smedley.
Toastmasters grew out of an effort to meet the needs of a group of men in Bloomington, Illinois, more than half a century ago. In those days, I was a YMCA secretary. Many of the men with whom I was associated in that work needed help in talking and in meeting other people. They had ideas, but they did not know how to express them. However, they did not want a formal class in public speaking, and when I suggested a club in which they could learn to talk by talking, they welcomed the idea. I believed in the sound pedagogical principles of learning by doing and improving through helpful suggestions or constructive criticism, as I preferred to call it. Businessmen, professional men, laboring men, men of a variety of occupations came into the club, and they were surprised by the results which they achieved through following our simple process of practice and criticism. We were strictly an educational group. We avoided the atmosphere of the classroom, and we learned in moments of enjoyment. As men in other communities heard of our plan, they desired the same training for themselves. It is gratifying, as I look back over our development through the years, to know that the growth has been the result of the desire of men to improve themselves in speech and in communication with other people. Yes, many thousands of men throughout the free world have profited by Toastmasters training and have been led into more productive living, more satisfactory living by this means. I hope to see many thousands more given the advantage of this training in the years to come.
So this is Ralph Smedley. He is the founder of Toastmasters. Why I'm bringing this old video? Just to show you how old is this organization. So it's not a startup, it's a well-established organization.
What is the story behind Toastmasters?
Yes. Now I'm here. So it has been established in 1924. So it's almost going to hit 100 years of establishment, and it's a well-organized organization. So it's a nonprofit educational organization that teaches public speaking and leadership skills through a worldwide network of clubs. The good thing, the headquarters is located in Englewood in Colorado. So it's just nearby your place. And Toastmasters International employs more than 150 professionals at the world headquarters. So they have 280,000 members plus in 144 countries and through 14,700 plus clubs around the world. I did small statistics today, and I found that in Colorado, only Colorado, you have 40 plus clubs of Toastmasters. So you do have them in Colorado, and of course you will have them since the headquarters is there. Now, why I found it very beneficial, because as you can see here, I developed public speaking by doing. For me, I don't like to attend lectures and listening to people telling me what to do. I like to do mistakes, learn from them. So in Toastmaster, you will go there and give speeches by speaking and by doing a lot of mistakes. By the way, your mistakes and my mistakes were welcome. And whenever I deliver any speech, people will be laughing. Whatever you do, so you can see that it is a friendly environment with like-minded people. I will go like this. And I can always find an audience for my speeches. This is one of the biggest challenges for people who want to develop their public speaking skills. They don't find audience. They have to call people and then they have to come and maybe they will find 1, 2 people only listening to them. But in Toastmasters, you will have a club and you will join them and you will find audience ready for you to listen to you and to clap for you. And we get instant and constructive evaluations from our peers. So there is no teacher or trainer telling you have to do 1, 2, 3. No, you are going to go there, give a speech. You among yourself as a club, they will tell me, Zahra, you have to raise your voice at that place. You have to use a prop. You have to be a little bit, you have to slow down at some areas to show that you are sad and so on. So these are the kind of constructive feedback and evaluations that I get from my peers. And the good thing that you can get official certificates and learning pathways to learn public speaking with low cost compared to, yes, I have 5 minutes. Okay,
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. And also it's a great platform to extend my network beyond my work with like-minded people. So in Toastmasters, I will not be afraid that my boss will see my mistakes. My coworkers will see me doing a lot of mistakes here and there. It's a very safe environment. I can do as much mistakes I can and then learn as I go. And also I can compete with strong speakers on an annual basis in regional contests. This is one of the things that will make you very, very, very strong when you speak. When you compete with other people who are stronger than you, you will raise the bar of where you are. And this is what the contests have done to me. As you can see here, I won the first place in the speech contest, and that was in 2022, I believe 2022, and the year before that. And it was really an amazing experience. How to become a member? So you have to visit several clubs to understand their mission, values, energy, and atmosphere, and meeting location. Because as in the football, we have Barcelona, we have Real Madrid, we have different clubs. Every club has its own energy and atmosphere. So you have to go and visit as much clubs as you can to understand them. And then you can select in number 2, your preferred club based on the timing, based on the energy, meeting location, and meeting language. And then you can register with low cost, as it's mentioned here, $45 for 6 months membership fees. And we have to pay $20 one-time registration fee. So this is nothing compared to the value that you are getting from Toastmasters. By the way, Toastmasters is not paying me anything to do that. I am telling you because I found the benefit of being a Toastmaster. So this is not a sales call to any one of you. And then you select your educational pathway online. Here we have 11 pathways that you can select because some people would like to be motivational speaker. Some people want to persuade people more. Some people want to know how to set strategies. So we have different pathways and anyone can select whatever suits their values and benefits and the aspiration they would like to acquire. So here, as I said, Toastmasters, many people will ask me, is Toastmasters good for you? For me, will I benefit? Well, for me, I got the benefit. For some people, they didn't. What I want to say here, Toastmasters is not public speaking. Toastmasters is only one way to deliver your public speaking capabilities. If you like it, well and good. If you don't like it, please don't stop giving speeches and seize for opportunities to speak in your area, at work, wherever you go, just go there and speak. Here are some of the final takeaways from my side. Number one, Dale Carnegie is saying, great speakers are not born, they are trained. So anyone can be trained to be a great public speaker. Number two, feel the fear and do it anyway. It will always be difficult. You will always have that evil talking to you before the session, telling you not to do it. Do it anyways. Start where you are, use what you have, do what you can. Don't care about the way you look, the way you speak, or how shallow is your knowledge. Just start where you are. You are good enough to speak to people. We want to hear you. Number four, the perfect time will never exist. Book your presentation slot today. Where? It's your decision. You know your area, you know your place, you know what your strength, and I'm sure in your mind that you have already located one place that you want to speak to. Please do it today and don't delay it. And with that, I will open the floor for Q&A from my lovely audience.
Any questions, anyone? Thank you, Zahra, for that wonderful presentation. I loved your energy, and I know I'm familiar with Toastmasters, but I still learned some new things. I didn't know they had those pathways, so that was very cool to learn about. Any questions from the audience? You can unmute your mic.
I think Anna, she has a question.
Yeah,
Anna, you
I
have a
have
question? I can
one.
see that you're, yeah.
So for all of us, for our next speaking event that we try and pull off, if you had maybe the top 3 tips that you would tell someone going to speak about what to do or not to do, what would those maybe be? Like around body language, speed, gestures, anything?
Top 3 tips. So number one, you have to know your audience. You have to know your audience and you have to know your audience. I will say it 3 times, but I will give you 2 more things to do. The second thing is speak about something that either you like or something you know. Like now, there is a lot of noise around green energy, artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, ChatGPT. If you don't know this field, you don't have to speak about it. Speak about what you know. Speak about what you like. Already your energy will be there and people would like to listen to you. I remember one time I was called by an FM to speak, and they told me to speak about a topic that they have decided. So I have to tailor myself to that topic. And it was a nightmare. And I didn't listen to that recording, and I don't want to listen to it because I spoke about something that I don't know. So speak about something that you know or like. Number 3, be yourself. Just be yourself. Don't try to, yes, we like to watch Oprah Winfrey and all of those motivational speakers, but don't try to copy someone else. You are good enough. Just be yourself. Speak to the people the way you would like to speak, and people will love your energy because it will show your authenticity. These are the 3 tips from my side.
I love it. Thank you.
Thank you for your question. Any other question? You can use the chat box if you feel shy to speak.
Yes. I don't want to get in anybody else's way of asking a question, but Zahra, I wanted to ask you, what went through your mind, when you were so uncomfortable and you were starting off to do this speaking? What kind of inner thoughts were you telling yourself to keep going and push through that being uncomfortable? What helped you get through that stage?
You mean this opportunity or whatever opportunity I have?
When you first started to do public
Uh-huh.
speaking, and you were having to push yourself to get those practices in and do it, and I imagine that there would be a lot of self-doubt and inner critic that's coming up being like, I'm sounding terrible and this is blah 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 horrible. How did you push through? What did you tell yourself to keep working at it and keep practicing?
At the beginning, I was so unconfident. And I remember when I graduated from university, I joined one of the leading organizations in IT called Hewlett Packard, which is HP. And we had 1 week to learn presentation skills. And when I gave a speech, the trainer told me, Zahra, you have something special. And then I knew at that time that I have something in me, I have to show it to the world. And I tried to give speeches, and sometimes I would say, no, it's enough, and why I'm doing all of that. And then God will send me people to tell me that, Zahra, you are our inspiration, you are our role model. So I feel if people are looking at me and finding motivation, if I stop, then that might affect them. They wouldn't have a role model that will help them. And also the benefits and the opportunities that will open up when I speak there, especially when I do it voluntarily. Whenever I do a volunteer opportunity, believe me, big opportunities come when you volunteer, when you give. This is the power of giving. So when I volunteer, I will be there. I will do a lot of mistakes. Some of them will be really miserable, but I will get a lot out of it. So the opportunities, because I see that it will open a lot of doors that will not open to me if I stay in my normal career growth, where I wait my manager to assign some tasks for me and come to me and compete with people. When I speak, I will be ahead of everyone and opportunities will come to me naturally. So when you start to test those opportunities, I don't want to go back. No, I don't want to go back again. I want to be there. I want to be performing. I want to inspire other people.
Thank you. Can while people are maybe thinking about some more questions or getting the courage to speak up and ask their question, can we get a group photo for anybody who feels comfortable turning their camera on and just capture the moment? I'll give you a minute to just turn your cameras on and get yourself situated, and I'll do a screenshot of us.
Do you want Zahra to stop the screen sharing so you get everybody?
I've got it.
Okay.
I have it on my
Okay.
screen, I think, well enough that I can also clip it then. Oh, there we go. Perfect. All right, I'm gonna count to 3 and then we'll snap a picture. 1, 2, 2.5, 3. Great. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. I think Sarah Ibtisam, she has a question.
You can
Hi.
unmute.
Sarah?
Yes, my name is Zahra Ibtisam, and I would like to thank you for a wonderful meeting. And I'm so happy and glad to see you, all of you. And it is inspiring me that I have learned so many things from Zahra. MashaAllah, she is very good personality, and I am happy to be part of Oman Online Toastmaster. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah Ibtisam.
Thank you.
I did not get that screenshot correct. It didn't work out. Can we try? Can we do a do over? Please, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Right, one more time. I'll count to 3. Hopefully I'll get this right. 1, 2, 3. Fingers crossed that worked. No, it didn't work. Leah, or Anna or Kat, could somebody else grab a screenshot? I'm sorry, mine's not working for me right now.
Yeah, I can do it here. Give me 1 second.
Thank you. Sorry, everybody.
I'm just expanding my screen real quick. Okay, I'll do a countdown as well. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Okay, we are good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So I have a question for you, Zahra. On the Toastmasters group that you ended up spending the most time with, what's the ratio of women to men now in your group?
Ratio of women to men. I have here the president, maybe he can help me. Michal, can you help me and tell me how much women we have? Do you have the answer?
Yes, I have. First of all, hi for everybody. I really am so happy to be part of this meeting. And indeed, Oman Online Toastmaster is really a good place to empower the women. I guess we are 70% ladies and 30% men. And really, I'm so happy to say that ladies, they really value the importance of public speaking, at least in our group. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mishal, and he is the president of Oman Online Toastmaster, so he got the recent statistics of the club. And also for the officers, usually we have the officers for 1 term, we have the officers, so the officers of the next term are mainly women. So you can see how ladies are taking part of being leaders in this organization.
Excellent. Another question to follow that up. Are you doing anything to roll the program out to younger people, like through STEM programs in schools or anything like that?
We have done one of the programs for the schools, and that was last summer vacation. And it is called Young Leadership Professional. So it was for the people around 8 years to 15 years. And we had like 7 weeks of sessions, and then we have given them the contest. And it was for the people in Oman. We have done it online, and it was really well received, and people benefited from the program. And even the mothers were telling us, we were 3, Zahra and myself, Samra Al-Barwani and Nabila, and they were telling me, if you are offering this, we are ready to pay you. Sorry, this is my son is knocking the door. That's why you can hear someone is knocking the door. So people were ready to pay us to give that program. So it was really well received. And I'm sure that in Colorado, you would have those, because in Toastmasters, if you want to grow, you have to give back to the community. And this is one of the requirements for you to gain the Distinguished Toastmaster title. You have to give that. For the ambitious people, they do it naturally. Thank you very much.
Any other questions?
I have a question.
Yes.
Zahra, so I really dislike the sound of my voice, and perhaps you do too. So my question to you, if you do, how do you overcome, given that most of the meetings are recorded, including this one, right? How do you overcome the dislike of your own recording voice? Thank you.
Thank you very much for your question. And yes, at the beginning, I used to hate my voice, and I didn't like to see me on camera. And by the way, your voice is really amazing. This is just in your mind. And how I overcome it by doing it more often. So I will hate it, I will do it, and I will do it, and I will do it until I get familiar with the voice that I hate, but people would like. And for me, this reminds me when I first came online, taking videos was something that I hate. And it used to take me 30 times. I had to record only 1 video to post it on Instagram. And I worked with a coach, and the coach was telling me, Zahra, you're doing fine. post the video. You are doing fine. Maybe for 1 month, he was trying to convince me to post the video. But once I get used to it, now I'm producing videos in 1 minute, I can produce 3 videos. It's nothing. And even if I do mistakes, so what? Let the world hear me. Many people are doing mistakes and many people want to see my authenticity. So I'm not sure if that is going to help you, but if you have someone you trust who can push you to do it, that will help you a lot to get outside of your comfort zone, like how I did. This is how it helped me. Someone pushed me, I get used to it, and then I'm now doing it fearlessly. If you need push, if you need help, you can find like groups and other people who can help you, and maybe you can join Toastmasters. Anna is raising her hand. Maybe she can also, you have a group in Woga who can help you to motivate you. And again, I'm telling you, your voice is amazing. Just remember that your voice is amazing and it's just in your head. Be there, and I'm sure you have a lot of valuable information, a lot of knowledge that you would like to share.
Just showing up and voicing your voice. I just think there's courage in that, and it's not easy for me. I mean, I'm still uncomfortable doing speaking, and having Woga, I've been pushing myself to facilitate meetings and introduce people, and it's not comfortable for me, but I want to get more past some of that uncomfortableness to be more comfortable, and that's what's pushing me, that drive. But I will say, like, having discomfort is not a bad thing. I think being uncomfortable can mean I care about this. I want to do a good job, and I'm going to, make sure I do what I need to do a good job. So, that can still be fuel. Those nerves can be fuel for improvement. Just my share.
Thank you, Chris. Yeah, that's really, really very valuable.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yes.
I have a question. I do Toastmasters, and I find the biggest challenge being finding the time to prepare. So how do you find the time to prepare with a full-time job and feeling confident enough when the time comes you have to present?
I prepare like 2 hours before the meeting. Usually this is how it happens. And sometimes if I have time, I will prepare 1 day before. But don't put in your head that I have to give the perfect speech. Being there, giving a bad speech is a good thing. Giving a bad speech is better than not giving any speech at all. So go there, prepare for 1 day or 1 hour, 2 hours, but be there and don't stop going to there, because once you stop, you will build the habit of not going. So it's better to be there and prepared than not showing up. This is how I do it, and I prepare very well for the contest. But for the normal meeting, I'll try to prepare, but I make sure that I will show up to my club, I will show up to my people, I will give them whatever speech I can at that time. Just show up and give them whatever you can. I have Mishal raising his hand.
Yeah, thank you very much. Just I would like to share my experience with Nina, because she talked about she's not accepting her voice, even though her voice is fantastic. I am a person who I had a stammering issue. So at those days, I didn't really, it is in my conscious mind and subconscious mind, I have a stammering issue. Once I start believe that I don't have a stammering issue, I become a normal person. So it might this help you. Just, switch your conscious and subconscious mind. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. President, for sharing your experience. So Nina, you can maybe volunteer to participate in Woga with your experience, and they would love to listen to you. You see, they are supporting you. So you have already a supported group. So it's okay, as Chris said, being uncomfortable is something good, and you have to go through this in order to overcome whatever difficulties you are facing. Is there any room for another question, or we are done?
Because say, Anna, I think you just got to volunteer for the panel when the ladies of Caruso come deliver.
Yeah, that's the spirit.
100%.
Chris, you are muted.
Thank you. We are over time, I was gonna say, but I was just letting it go because people were still on and asking questions. So yeah, thank you, Zahra, for joining us and sharing your information and knowledge. It's been a real pleasure. And thank you everyone for joining us.
Thank you all. It's a pleasure to be among you.
Oh, Anna, you're on mute.
I was just rambling on my thank yous and gratitude. So
Okay.
thank you so much.
Thank you, Anne, and thank you for having me here. It's
Absolutely.
a pleasure.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye, everyone.